Joining me now is author and political commentator Shemeka Michelle.
Shemeka Michelle.
Shemeka Michelle.
Shemeka Michelle.
When God looked at man, he said it's not good for man to be alone. He gave him a woman. He didn't give him a village. He didn't give him the community. He said, be fruitful and multiply to this man and this woman. So it's supposed to be God, husband, wife.
If you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always got.
How does it feel to know that you had so many people to show up from places? I mean, we don't even know you guys, but a lot of people wanted to be here to show support. How did that make you feel seeing all the different faces?
I feel like I ain't want my son to be, known in that type of way, you feel me? Like, but I appreciate it, but I know, like, so some most folks popping around there cause it trend, So, how, it's popular right now. I already know how it go. They on my boat right now. I already know how they go.
And you saying now you didn't want your baby to be popular, known like this?
Nah, not this type of way.
Can you tell us what kind of baby he was? What is your memories of him?
Like, funny, playful, goofy like your mom, goofy, real goofy, man.
When you found out the baby was coming, how did that make you feel? Were you nervous?
When you first were born?
Yes.
I know, man. Nah, I ready for it.
You were ready to be a father.
Yeah, man.
Was he your only baby?
Nah, he got a sister.
He got a sister.
Yo, I'm gonna show you.
You got pictures?
Yeah. Let me show you real fast. I was gonna show a picture on the gutter, but oh man!
Oh wow! How old is she?
Both on one. Hey, her birthday October 17th. His birthday November 1st.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Oh my goodness! And he was your only son.
Yeah, man.
How does it feel, man? Just knowing that they went to the store for one thing and left another way.
I mean, like, honestly, all I can say, I don't really know what happened. I was asleep. I got woke up to it. I didn't know, like, they took my baby. I just want justice for him. Like, it's all. I don't want nothing but justice for my baby. That's it. Yeah, like right now, like around people, I'm good. Like by myself, like whole different ball game. It's different, yeah. You know?
Have you been to see a counselor or talk to like a pastor or somebody you could just vent to?
No, man.
Have you considered it?
I consider myself like I deal with it. I'm dealing with it. Yeah, it like I just want justice. That's it.
But how does it feel?
What? I mean, first let me say, rest in peace. Losing a 1-year-old child, regardless of how, is an horrific tragedy. I do not want to take that away from this case. Like, I don't want to take away from that. It's a horrific tragedy. But just looking at these cases, two in particular over the last couple of weeks, this one where a 1-year-old was killed while his mother or her friend allegedly were trying to flee from Walmart because they were stealing, and the little baby was killed by the cops. And then also in Missouri, a 10-year-old has been charged with murder after killing a 7-month-old child because the 19-year-old father left his gun under the mattress. I have to look at these and ask, are we preparing the next generation for parenthood? I don't think we are. Listen to this young man. It's like we are teaching them how to have sex, how to pop their legs open, how to get babies, but nobody's teaching them how to be parents. I don't understand what's happening here. again, this is a tragedy to lose a child, but there's a kink in the hose, people. There's a kink in the hose, and the kink is real big. It's like a double knot. I want to share a couple of more videos before we get into today's show, but there's a kink in the hose, people. And if we don't see it, if we don't do something 15, 20 years from now, things are going to be absolutely worse than they are right now. We are not preparing the next generation. I'm sorry. We just aren't.
19-year-old is now charged in the death of a 7-month-old infant one day after a 10-year-old boy was charged with murder in that Friday shooting. 19-year-old Kamarion Parnell is facing 4 charges, including 1 count of second-degree murder, multiple charges involving child endangerment. According to a probable cause statement from St. Louis police, detectives say Parnell is the father of the infant, Kyomi Parker, and that Parnell stored a gun underneath the mattress in the bedroom. According to detectives, the 10-year-old boy charged with shooting Parker said he knew where the gun was and had access to it for an extended period of time. Here is video from that scene from Friday. The 10-year-old accused of pulling the trigger is charged with first-degree murder. According to our research, that's the youngest child in Missouri history to be charged with murder. Until just 2 years ago, Missouri had no minimum age for charging a child with a serious felony, including murder. That changed somewhat in 2024 when a state law set the minimum age at 12 for certifying a juvenile as an adult. Based on this law, the 10-year-old cannot be tried as an adult.
Last one. You got to see this. Last, I don't understand this.
Every time I get mentioned, one of y'all.
This is what, from the 1-year-old, this is what his mother posted the day of his funeral.
I just want to kick this shit off by saying, fuck y'all. I ain't got to clear my name on a motherfucking thing. Every time I get mentioned, one of y'all bitch ass niggas get 24 hours of attention. I'm finna get this shit off my chest and lay it to rest. Let's go.
Welcome to Shaking My Head with Shemeka Michelle. I am your host, Shemeka Michelle. Happy Tuesday. Both of these situations are tragedies. 2 babies, 2 tragedies. And I'm asking the question, are we preparing the next generation for parenthood? I don't think that we are. We absolutely are not. The story today, or the show today, is not about guns. I need y'all to understand that. It's not about police. This is about the people paying the highest price, which are the children, the next generation. In Missouri, we had a 7-month-old, I believe it was a little girl, shot in the head, killed by a 10-year-old child. What are we doing? Culture. What are we doing, Black community? Authorities says the 10-year-old accessed the gun because the 19-year-old father of the 7-month-old had a gun stored under his mattress where the 10-year-old child could access it. I'm told this wasn't the first time that the child had accessed the gun. What are we doing? This was in Missouri. In Mississippi, they just had Kohen Wiley's funeral. A 1-year-old, and the family they're demanding the release of the body cam and evidence. It's still under investigation. But in this situation, the mother, who I believe is 20 years old, went to Walmart with her friend. According to her, as they were leaving Walmart, they were trying to stop her friend. She said she kept going because it ain't have nothing to do with her. This is what she said. By the time she got to the car, her friend was coming out of the Walmart. They were trying to stop her. The friend got into the car. Police were trying to stop her. She pulled out, backed and hit another car. The police had their guns drawn. So the 20-year-old says she held up her 1-year-old baby so she could show the police officers she had a baby in the car. And by the time she set the baby down, the shots rang out. 3 shots. One hit her son in the rib cage. The other 2 hit the driver. And there are a lot of people saying, when did we start shooting people over theft? But we have to talk about what we don't want to talk about here. We have to discuss this parenting crisis that we all want to look away from. These kids are not ready to be parents. We are raising a generation who lack all responsibility and accountability. I'm not equating the legal issues of this case, of these cases. I am focused on the common outcome. We have a child lost. Multiple children lost. When you look at the fact that a 1-year-old was lost, a 7-month-old was lost, a 10-year-old child who shot the 7-month-old in the head is lost, and the 19-year-old who was the father of this baby. We're talking about the common denominator here, the children who are lost. And we have to talk about the fact that adulthood isn't an age. It's a responsibility. And too many kids are coming to adulthood just because they bring another life into the world. What actually makes someone an adult? It's not having a child. That doesn't make you an adult. And I need for us as parents, because I am the mother of 3 grown children, 3 of age kids who could actually produce another life. And I'm telling them 18 doesn't make you an adult. 21 doesn't make you an adult. Being grown women, having the ability to reproduce doesn't make you adults. And we aren't telling these kids this. You know what makes you an adult? Responsibility. Being prepared to be responsible. Being prepared to raise another child to be a productive citizen of the United States. Clearly, we aren't doing this. And so it is my belief that we are teaching children how to have sex, and they understand they can reproduce, but we are not raising a generation ready for responsibility. And as someone who is Generation X, we're at the age now where we have children and grandchildren. I'm looking at Generation X and asking, what the hell have you done? What in the hell are we doing? Because we are not preparing these people for adulthood. We are not. We are an arrested generation. We are suffering from arrested development, trying to have kids who are suffering from arrested development, trying to have kids. We are bastards raising bastards with no responsibility, no understanding, no accountability. We didn't have fathers, so we chose to have children without fathers who are now having children without we got to stop the cycle, people. We are allowing babies to have babies. And this is how it looks when children are raising children. This is the foolishness that we see when children are raising children. I need to understand why someone took their baby on a crime spree. I already addressed it's a tragedy, but somebody needs to explain to me why this young woman took her baby on a crime spree. As we listen to the father of that 1-year-old in the beginning of this video, we heard him say he had 2 kids. This child had a sister who was also 1 year old. He had a baby in October and then turned around and had a baby in November. He could not string a coherent sentence together. So I need to ask his father or his mother, what in the hell are you teaching this young man? To have 2 children around the same age, 2 different mothers, just spreading his seed in gardens he can't tend properly. What are we teaching them? Why do they understand that they can go out and she can pop her legs open and he can come up inside of her raw, produce a child, but then that's it. They don't know what else to do after that. This young man with his face tatted and his hair all over his head said he had 2 children. One he just lost and another one that he, I hope, raises. But what are we doing? What are we teaching? Clearly, he's irresponsible to have 2 children a month apart by 2 different women. Clearly, he is irresponsible. So what type of values will he be able to instill into these young kids? How many more times is he going to reproduce? Doesn't sound like he has much to pour into the children coming behind him. He could not give us a coherent sentence. He sounded retarded. He sounded as if he wakes up every morning just to smoke weed, to flee from himself. What are we doing? My generation, Generation X, what are we doing? What are we instilling into the next generation? Are we preparing them to be financially stable? It doesn't appear that we're doing that. And I'm watching us celebrate, because we often celebrate pregnancies. We are celebrating gender reveals. We're celebrating baby showers, but we are spending far less time having the discussions that matter. And I'm telling y'all, I've been to a couple of baby showers in the last few years of unmarried people. Just, I can produce. Y'all got cupcake tears. Y'all are having the best party, the most elaborate gender reveals. Coming to the parties, we don't want for anything. It's all the food we can eat. It's the best drinks. Y'all got candy apples and I mean cotton candy machines. Y'all are having the best celebrations. But I don't think we are putting the same amount of time and energy into the conversations that matter, the discussions that matter. Are these people financially stable? Are we putting time and energy and effort into the discussions to make sure they're emotionally mature? Because you shouldn't be having a child if you aren't emotionally mature. Are we putting these same discussions into conflict resolution skills? Because we're putting a lot of energy and effort into celebrating baby showers, gender reveals. Oh, the baby is coming. But where's the effort into child development? Don't you understand? In order for a child to learn how to speak, the people around him need to be able to speak. And you stand around your child like this, you know what I'm saying? No, say like, okay, I don't mean, you know what I'm saying? Just saying, I was just, you know, cause I was like, you know, got a sister, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, cause I hated my baby to be famous like this, cause you know what I'm saying? If that's all the baby here is Scooby-Doo talk, your baby is gonna talk like Scooby-Doo. We aren't putting anything into child development. And I am seeing a lot of kids who cannot speak. And I've been asking myself, what is going on? Was it COVID? What's happening? Can the children not hear? What's happening? They can't talk because the parents raising them can't talk. Everybody want to be hood. Everybody want to be ghetto. Everybody want to sound like a rapper, an ignorant sounding rapper. Y'all can't pronounce your words. You're not enunciating, and your kids are hearing this and they sound like Scooby-Doo. Y'all just around, walking around these children sounding like Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah. And your kids going to school and they can't speak. And because they can't speak, they aren't learning. They can't participate in class, and they're cutting up, having poor behavior. This is why so many children are reading below grade level. We are not putting the time, energy, and effort into what's important. Tell me why a 19-year-old has a loaded handgun under a mattress with young children in the house to shoot his 7-month-old baby. I bet they had a nice baby shower. I bet they put money into a nice baby shower. Probably took a few pictures with the money fanned out, as the young woman did who just buried her 1-year-old son. Day of the funeral with money fanned out. Y'all are putting your energy and effort into the wrong thing. Are you putting discussions into healthy relationships? It's not looking like it. And at the end of the day, children are being lost. We are losing kids. They don't stand a chance from conception. Because if y'all don't murder them in the womb, you're murdering them not long after. They don't stand a chance. Y'all are putting energy and effort into all the wrong things. And children learn from the adults around them, or the so-called adults. They are products of their environments. And I would like to say to y'all, you are irresponsible. You're already a bad parent if you know you're not prepared to develop that child. You're already a bad parent. You aren't financially stable, bad parent. You're not emotionally mature, bad parent. You don't have any conflict resolution skills, bad parent. There's no effort into the child development, bad parent. Some of y'all are waking up smoking weed, pregnant, drinking, pregnant, fighting, pregnant. Somebody needs to tell me why a 19-year-old had a loaded gun under a mattress. Somebody needs to tell me what made a 20-year-old go to Walmart on a crime spree and then hold her baby up to police with their guns drawn to let them know the baby was in here. It's because their bodies are growing, but their minds are suffering from arrested development. They don't have the thinking of adults. When you are an adult, you understand responsibility. When you are an adult, you understand the sacrifice that comes along with having children. You understand it's not about your life anymore. It is about the well-being of what you produced, who you produced. That's what this is about. And as adults, Generation X, y'all have normalized chaos. You wonder why kids are so chaotic right now, having all these teen takeovers? We've normalized chaos. We have whole TV shows, The Bad Girls, about women living together. All they do is fight, just troubled women. But that show, The Bad Girls Club, is popular. Some of y'all, old as me, sit around right now watching it with your children and don't understand why your children lack conflict resolution skills. Y'all have normalized chaos. Babies having babies. Babies losing babies. Y'all have normalized chaos. Y'all have normalized being impulsive, not thinking things through, just reacting. You've normalized violence. When we look at what's going on with the whole Carmelo Anthony case, and y'all say, well, he told him not to put his hands on him, y'all have normalized violence. I shot him because he stepped on my shoe. What you gonna step on my $300, $400 Jordans? That's why I shot his ass, because he stepped on my shoe. He was looking at me. What you looking at? Y'all so insecure, you don't like people looking at you. You're so insecure that you think somebody who could possibly be admiring you, how you look, your clothes, maybe your hair, you're ready to fight because they looked at you. We've normalized violence, and we have normalized y'all being mentally unstable. We've normalized instability on so many levels. We've normalized instability, and children inherit those conditions. They're products of their environments. We want to know why these teen takeovers are happening. Check out the mothers and the fathers, if you can find the fathers, but check them out. Those of you who are 40 and 50 years old can't complete a sentence without, know what I'm saying? Because, I was like, I was going to the store, you know what I'm saying? And I was telling them, know what I'm saying? Like, this just ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I was saying, call me so I could, 40 and 50 years old, speaking this way. But we act like we don't understand the teen takeover. Somebody allowed them to come out the house. Somebody's allowing them to hang out. They're feeling like it's okay. I remember when I actually cared about what my mother thought. I actually cared about what would happen if I had a misstep. What would my mother think? What would my mother do to me? My mama came and showed out on me in high school because my friend was pregnant. My friend had gone and to the health department and used my name because I was younger than her. And so she didn't want to have to pay for her pregnancy test or whatever. She used my name. My mama got word before the end of the school day and was at the school. Embarrassed me in the gym in front of everybody. Do you know to this day, she never apologized? But I knew better than to then go out and think I could go and get pregnant at 15, 16, 17, 18. I cared about making a misstep. So these kids having kids, apparently they aren't being raised correctly. They're just out doing what they want to do. What I know for sure is that my children knew good and well, don't bring me no babies. Y'all will be living in the projects. I might drive by and toss a pack of Pampers on the porch, maybe. And I had a foster child who didn't believe me. For a short period of time, she didn't believe me. You know what she said? You a terrible grandma. I told you I was going to be. Do it the right way or you're going to do it without me. Because I put time and energy and effort into teaching my children better. I put time, energy, and effort into teaching them conflict resolution skills, financial stability, emotional maturity. You can't control your emotions. You aren't ready to help somebody else, some little child, navigate their emotions. You flying off the handle, tearing up a McDonald's because your fries aren't hot. There is absolutely no way you can help a young person regulate their emotions. You have no regulation of your own. And this is the parenting crisis we are experiencing in the Black community, especially, that nobody wants to discuss. Y'all don't want to talk about it. Y'all want to point the finger at everybody else. I can't believe they would draw their guns and over a pack of Pampers or whatever that they were stealing. There is nothing in Walmart that costs the amount of a life. Why she didn't know that? The first responsibility was with the parent. This 19-year-old charged in Missouri because why didn't he know storing a loaded handgun under the mattress with a child in the house was not the right thing to do? We aren't discussing what needs to be discussed. We aren't asking the questions that need to be asked. And I hate to blame just one generation, but what kind of environment are we creating? These people are products of their environment. What type of environment are we creating? Tell me why somebody who has a green thumb will take the time to make sure the plants get the proper light, the proper amount of water. Sometimes they have a greenhouse. They make sure the environment of the greenhouse is conducive to plants thriving. But we aren't even putting that same amount of time, energy, and effort into the environments that we create that should nurture the next generation. We aren't putting this same effort in. We will make sure our pets, well, I can't leave my pet at home. They're like a child. I can't leave my dog by themselves, because, it's like my child. But y'all, you're not putting that same energy and effort into the environment of kids. Are we expecting enough from fathers? Are we expecting enough from mothers? Or have our standards gotten too low? Are the standards too low? What does accountability look like before the child is even born? I was just saying earlier on Harmony. I think I was saying it on Harmony, or maybe I was having this conversation with Baby. I can't remember. But I remember when my children were coming up, they had friends whose parents would allow like their boyfriend or their girlfriend to spend the night at the house, or to be at the house with the door closed. And I'm a prude, because number one, you're not even dating to the point I acknowledge it until you're 16. And then they definitely aren't coming over, being laid up in your room. We're not doing that. My daughter that's 30, she don't live with me right now because you wouldn't be able to do that. I don't know how many of you watched the Tina Turner movie, What's Love Got to Do with It? But the mother in that, she let her girls know, I'm the only sinner in this house. I don't care how many light bills you pay. You're not laying up with somebody that you aren't married to in my home. But I watched a lot of parents want to be friends with their children and allow this type of foolishness. You didn't instill accountability in those coming up, the next generation, from the beginning. And at some point, we have to be willing and ready to break the cycle. We have to break the cycle. We need to break the cycle. We need to teach our kids that they need to delay parenthood until they are prepared. Some of y'all walking around, I just want to be a grandma. Are they prepared? Is your child prepared for parenthood, or you just want to be a grandma? Well, I had my child young. Well, when are you gonna break the cycle? Is your son a responsible father? Is your son ready for fatherhood? Are your kids, or these young adults you're raising, are they able to choose stable partners? Are they there yet? Are we there yet? Are they there yet to choose stable partners? I cannot for the life of me understand why this young girl, the one who lost her 1-year-old son, went out here and spread her legs for a young boy who can't even string a sentence together, face all tatted up, hair all over the place, with another baby, got another baby on the way. Do they have the ability to choose stable partners? 15, 20 years from now, these bastards are going to just raise another generation of bastards who don't know how to act. And I know this sounds harsh. Y'all have to learn how to model responsibility rather than simply talking about it. Gone are the days where you can say, do as I say, not as I do, because they are doing what you do. You are living like an untamed gorilla. Your child is going to live and react like an untamed gorilla. It's time to start modeling responsibility. What are they learning in the home? Why are they 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 and can't function as responsible adults? What did you model for them in the home? What are they learning? Because you can sit around and complain all day long, but what did you teach them? What type of behavior did you model? So instead of just running around here, I want to be a grandma. I want to be a grandfather. Y'all got babies raising babies, babies having babies. Because they really aren't raising them. Babies having babies. Children deserve adults who act like adults. If you can't provide that type of environment, you aren't ready. Children deserve adults who act like adults. These stories aren't just situations where children died. These stories are about adults who failed them. The adults over 18, and then the adults who are the parents of these 18, 19, 20-year-olds. Adults failed them. And no, we cannot prevent every tragedy. But we can start making changes that we don't create environments that keep raising these type of people. Just impulsive. And I feel bad for the children because they don't get to choose. They have no say and no choice in the matter. And we need to raise the standard for what it means to be a parent. Just being able to pop out a baby doesn't mean you're meeting the standard for being a parent. Doesn't mean you are meeting the motherhood standard. Your sperm works, young man, you're fertile. Doesn't mean you meet the parenthood standard. It doesn't mean you're ready. You ready to be a grandma because your kids are grown? Doesn't mean your kids are ready to meet the standards of parenthood. I'm 11 years past the age my grandmother was when she became a grandmother. But I don't want any grandkids until my kids are for sure ready to meet the standards of being parents, ready to make the sacrifices. And do not, because my kids are usually watching, and I don't believe they ever will. They haven't brought one home yet that speaks like Scooby-Doo, but don't you dare go out and get somebody who speaks like Scooby-Doo and think you're going to reproduce and give me some little kids sounding like Scooby-Doo. I don't want, no, not doing it. Well, Mommy, you never take your grandkids out sounding like Scooby-Doo. I absolutely will not. Child can't speak. Child 3, 4 years old still in a diaper? No, because you didn't know how to choose a responsible partner. We need to break the cycle. Break the cycle. You should always want the generation coming up or your children to do better than you. I want my kids to do better than I did. Do better. Marry before you carry. But for the love of God, don't get with somebody sounding like Scooby-Doo. Brain, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. I'm just saying, kind of like, no, nope, not gonna work for me. Rico G, you do know that Teen Mom has been on for over a decade, right? Or community is just looked at differently. None of this is new. It's just highlighted more. And I do realize the show Teen Mom is on. But I also understand that we are dealing with some things in our community that the white community just isn't dealing with at the same rate. And we can keep pretending, we can keep lying while kids keep dying. We kill each other at a greater rate, period. And I understand you kill who you're closest to. It's intraracial. I understand. White people kill white people. Mexicans kill Mexicans. Black people kill blacks, and we are doing it at a greater rate. I am the product of a teen mom. My mother got pregnant with me at 14. I'm a product of rape, but I was still the product of a teen mom. And I can get up here and I can string a sentence together because my mother could string a sentence together. It was certain things my mother didn't allow just because she was a teen mom. We have lowered the standards. And don't get up here in your feelings because you just want to protect black people at all costs. You don't want black people to hear any type of correction. I don't give a damn about the show Teen Mom. I'm talking to the people who look like me, who have lowered their standards. My mother had me at 15, and guess what? I was an exceptional student. I participated in extracurricular activities, and I was excellent in those. When I was coming up, the people my age were not walking around with their pants sagging. They weren't waking up smoking weed every day. I have never seen my mother smoke a joint a day in my life. She had me at 15, and I was well taken care of. We have normalized foolishness, and that's just the bottom line. And unless we decide to break the cycle, unless we decide to address some of these things head on and stop being butthurt in our feelings, it's not going to get better. It just isn't. And I get sick of this whole what about Brett Favre? White people are doing it. White people are not my moral compass. And if white people are your moral compass, get out of my comment section. I don't want views that bad. What about Brett Favre? What about the whites? The whites. That's not my moral compass. See, unlike a lot of you who whine about white supremacy, I don't focus on white supremacy. I don't believe in white supremacy. Because if I buy into white superiority, then I have to buy into black inferiority. And I don't buy into that. I'm not inferior just because my skin is darker. I was able to learn how to read, write, and do math, even with black skin. My children graduated with 4.2, 4.3, 4.4 GPAs with black skin. Went to college and did well, graduated with degrees. One just graduated with her master's. This ain't about the whites. This is about what we're doing and what we aren't doing because we're so focused on the whites. It's time to break the cycle. Put more energy and effort into raising productive citizens, preparing these kids for adulthood. For adulthood, these young people, they didn't get to choose who their parents were. And we are losing too many. Back to back to back. Y'all ain't tired of hearing it? Y'all not tired? I'm tired of watching these kids suffer. I don't even like it when I see a young person, a little child, getting cursed out in the grocery store because they did what children do, ask for candy that they don't need. And these people who weren't prepared to be parents, cussing them out every which way because they asked for a Hershey bar. Beating them because you just like your daddy. No, I don't got time for the whites. It's the blacks wreaking havoc across America. When I see videos of teen takeovers, I'm not seeing the whites or the Asians or the Hispanics. That's not who I'm seeing with the teen takeovers. When we see the body counts every weekend in Chicago, they look like me. Every time I hear about a young person dying in my city, they look like me. So yeah, teen pregnancy is nothing new. Low standards are. Low standards, the bigotry of low expectations, that's new. Telling people they are victims and they are oppressed because of the color of their skin, that's new. Telling them they can't learn because they are black, that's new. Waking and baking as a parent, that's new. And talking like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying what you saying, cause I ain't want, to be like, didn't know, cause that's new. Making excuses. It's new. We didn't used to do that. We used to be a group of people who had class and dignity. And I'm old enough to remember. So you can blow smoke up the ass of somebody else. You can't blow it up mine. I'm old enough to remember when we were a people of class and dignity. When we cared how we looked when we left the house. We weren't out in the dollar store in our pajamas and bonnets. I remember. So, yeah, there are certain things that aren't new, but these low standards, not giving a damn, that's new. And I'll be back here tomorrow shaking my head about something else. Because you give me plenty to shake my head about. And I don't care if you don't like it. Don't tune in. But if you do like it, tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. I'll be back here tomorrow, same place, same time. Peace. Because unlike others, I do love y'all. And I want to see us do better across the board.